SGA once again. Little hesitation. The left hand. What a move by SGA.
Attacker for another block.
Chet Holmgren, the long arm of the law.
Back in the game. These are key minutes without SGA. And another drive. J. Dom cocks it back and throws it down.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested Podcast, coming to you live Thursday, April 24th, on the heels of a 114-108 massive come-from-behind win from the Thunder to take a commanding 3-0 series in the first round. Brooms in the chat from George. Whoop that trick. I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. I've got the homies Justin Peabody.
Hello, everybody.
And Taylor Peterson.
What a game. I'm still kind of speechless.
Before
a first for Taylor Peterson.
Wow, yeah. Hey,
First.
hey,
How did they
before
have 31 tonight? I'm just looking at the box score, just like, what happened?
before we dive into all of this crazy game, God, I'm fired up. I ain't going to bed till 4 a.m., brothers. Before we dive into this crazy game, I want to let you guys know we are brought to you by Blue Wire Podcast Network and Prairie Artisan Ales. Hey, speaking of Prairie Artisan Ales,
Hey-o.
first check out that hat Justin's rocking.
Sick.
That's some Prairie merch.
That is some
Also,
Prairie merch.
Look, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on your podcast platform of choice, if you are, how else would people get this podcast?
Smoke signal.
If you're reading the smoke signals, if you are reading this in Braille,
You got the telegram.
you got the
Yes.
telegram. They sent what did they send in Game of Thrones?
Oh, they sent the Raven.
The Raven.
If you got a Raven with the transcript of this podcast, here's
Yeah.
what I need you to do. Look at your calendar. See what you are doing on Saturday. Delete it. Taking the kids to the park? F them kids. You got a wedding to go to? They'll probably get divorced anyways. You don't need to go.
Wow.
Dad died. You're going to a
Statistical.
funeral? He don't know you're missing it.
Unbelievable.
You need to be at Prairie Artisan Ales in Oklahoma City, Saturday at 2:30 p.m. for the Thunder versus Memphis Grizzlies Game 4 watch party.
Bring your brooms.
This is not hyperbole. Bring the brooms. Take
Your
your broom
brooms.
from your home. Bring it to Prairie. Three things are going to happen at Prairie that night. A, we're all going to have brooms.
That afternoon.
That afternoon. B, we are going to start the loudest whoop that trick chant that they're going to hear us. They're going to hear us all the way in Memphis.
Wow.
3, there's going to be a live post-game podcast by the Uncontested where you can hang out in Prairie and listen to us live. You don't want to miss it. Nobody wants to miss it. Be there with the homies. Come hang, slam some beers, watch the Thunder finish the sweep, hang out with us afterward. It is going to be an incredible night, incredible afternoon, Taylor, at Prairie
Good
Artisan
save.
Ales.
Good save.
Make your way out there. You can also join the Patreon and
we
join
go.
us in the Discord if you want. Some real degenerates over there. Some of them leave and then come back in the same night.
More than one. There was
So
more
join the
than one
Discord.
time.
We have a lot of fun over there talking hoops. The place was wild tonight.
Skelton.
It was
Speaking of people that lead the Discord, Skelton with a super chat. Here's money so you can trust me.
More
even
money.
though we only won because we hurt Ja.
Thank you, Skelton.
We also
Salute.
have another one from the Con Man who says, here's a super chat before Jacob starts asking. Also, Alex mother effing Caruso.
Bullying.
Look
work.
at that with the jersey. Well done. You just need the headband tonight, and you'd be full Caruso fit.
Hey, I've been told that a headband is going to be there for me at Prairie on Saturday.
Love that.
Confirm.
Matt Noonan says, I'd go to Prairie, but Jacob won't talk to me in public without a $5 super chat. You're freaking right.
Jacob won't talk. Jacob doesn't talk to me unless I give him a super chat.
Yeah. Woo! Gentlemen,
What a game, man.
I almost went and bought another pack of Pall Malls. And it's round one.
Like Coors Light.
Iconic moment.
Thunder with the biggest second half comeback in playoff history. Is that
Correct.
the stat?
Yeah.
Correct.
29 points?
Yep.
And the biggest in Thunder playoff history for the franchise.
Insane. Thunder finished the game 114-108. Typically, we have like an outline. We have a script. This podcast is well organized. It's ran by a 10-year veteran teacher. It's lesson planned out. It's got strategies. I'm pulling the Bill O'Reilly tonight. F it. We're doing it live.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
We got another chat from Jacob Niffin's hair. You guys don't want to see what kind of hair I had cooking up if we lost this game.
My.
Now I'm curious.
I do.
And
like the
another
hair,
one.
you know.
Skelton. Again, I'm sorry I have to leave and come back to reverse the bad mojo. It works every time.
In his
Skelton,
defense, it does
Keep
work.
doing it.
It does.
Skelton. Keep doing it, Skelton.
For the people.
Wild.
Oh, man.
Self-sacrifice.
All right. I don't even know where we start with this one, guys. Like,
Feels like we have to start with Ja, just to get the elephant out of the room.
wasn't a dirty play. I'm
idea.
a Thunder homer. Wasn't
Was
a
not
dirty,
a dirty play.
The Amen play wasn't a dirty play last night. The Dort play
Agreed.
wasn't a dirty play tonight.
And
Unfortunate-
Draymond Green has never intentionally hurt a player in a regular season or in a game in his entire life, apparently.
I've never seen it.
Unbelievable.
Very unfortunate play.
Extremely.
Very unfortunate play. But you know what? I'm going to say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
You got to do the finger point when you do that.
I don't care that you broke your elbow. No, it sucks for Ja.
It sucks a lot. The
Yeah.
Thunder were likely well on the way to getting blown out. Now, did I expect them to come out regardless of Ja and look better in the second half than they did in the first half? Yes, I did. Did I expect them to win? No, I did not. As soon as Ja went out, did I start to have a little expectation that they could win? Absolutely.
Yep.
And I think that if you polled most Thunder fans, they'd probably agree with that. You can't talk about this game without addressing it. Just in case there's any Grizzlies fans in the stream tonight, extremely unfortunate. Memphis probably wins this game tonight with Ja, but that is unfortunately for Memphis fans, that is not what happened.
And I think that's fair. But at the same time, I mean, the story of the game is the second half for the Thunder. And yet it wasn't even the Thunder we've become so accustomed to, right? It was Chet going off. It was Alex Caruso being insane. We'll get into each of these players and each of these big things individually. But I do think the Thunder still come back in some form or fashion. Obviously, having Ja on the other end of the court, that gives them that gives the Grizzlies the opportunity to be able to match what the Thunder were doing.
The first half just didn't look like the Thunder that we've watched
At all.
for
The
84
first half,
games.
Memphis looked like the Thunder.
Correct.
Frustrating the
Yeah.
other team's offense, forcing turnovers, playing at a breakneck pace.
Yep.
Making the other team just feel uncomfortable. Like they did to Oklahoma City what Oklahoma City does to other teams.
100%. And
Playing
it
with
sucks.
pace was the emphasis there.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they
it
were
sucked.
playing so fast. Yeah, it
And
did. It's
Memphis took care of the ball, to their credit. Like Oklahoma City, they had a couple turnovers forced in the first half, but none of them were live ball turnovers. And you could feel that. Oklahoma City couldn't get out and push things at all, and Memphis did, and it was devastating. They were also hitting an absurd amount of threes.
Yeah, and
Scottie Pippen Jr. was unconscious.
how many times have we talked about that this season? Like a team will get hot from three and people will freak out, and it's like, dude, either they shoot an unsustainable 70% from three and make
Like the
35
Lakers.
threes in the game,
Shout out Scottie
And-
Pippen Jr.
and you lose, or they regress to the mean, right? Now, some of those, I think the open threes in the first quarter were a result of really poor point of attack defense.
Agreed.
The Grizzlies were able to come off of a Zach Edey screen, drive into the lane, which crashes in the weak side help defender, and there were spray outs and open threes.
Yep.
And the problem in the NBA is everybody is a really good basketball player. And if you let them start to get into a rhythm, then when the defense tightens up and you close out on those shots, they've found the stroke. I mean, if you've ever gone and played pickup, you know what it feels like when you find the jumper.
Yep.
And when you start getting that rhythm.
Thunder kept going under screens. I think Zach Edey was also setting a lot of illegal screens in my non-professional opinion. But the Thunder, they can't do that. They can't just die under the screen and let the Grizzlies initiate the offense that way, because that's what we watched in the first half for the most part. Ja was also carving up the Thunder, getting a lot of empty side action, using some like spins and hezzies to open things up, and was finding guys, was finding Zach Edey for alley-oops, was finding Scottie Pippen Jr. wide open. Like, that obviously changed in the second half. But on the Thunder side of things, their defense was much more aggressive in the second half at closing out, at rotating. There's a lot of bad rotations in the first half too. And then I think the fouls on Hartenstein were a big factor in the first half as well. Hart got 3 early fouls. And I thought that offensive stretch with Shai off the floor when Hart was on the bench with 3 fouls, when things just got real bad. Mm-hmm. If Hart had been on the floor, maybe that doesn't get as bad. So it was a combination of a lot of things that went wrong in the first half. But the second half, Oklahoma City played their style of basketball. They got the pace where they wanted it. They were aggressive on defense. They forced a lot of live ball turnovers. I saw a stat that said the Grizzlies had 7 turnovers in the third quarter and 5 made field goals.
After only 1 the entire first half. Really quick, before we move on, per usual, I have a tweet for that. Shout out friend of the podcast, Nick Gallo. Shout out J-Dub.
Wait, that's what we should have led the pod with.
I know, I was shocked.
Justin, pull it up so we can put it on the stream.
Yes, sir.
None other than J-Dub himself was rocking the post-game vibes Nick Gallo t-shirt.
J-Dub, if you're listening, shout out.
I don't think he's listening, but he rocked the t-shirt.
J-Dub, we appreciate it. Justin will sign it for you if you want.
Oh, how about that?
So while Justin pulls this up, which is really cool, we definitely need to pull it up on the stream, but Gallo tweeted this out after the first quarter, and it goes hand in hand with what Jacob was saying in the Discord, and usually is saying in the Discord, and what you just mentioned on the podcast. The Grizzlies hit 7 first quarter threes, but only have 2 points in the paint. The Thunder has seen this movie before throughout the season on the road, at Boston, at San Antonio, and at Sacramento. OKC held the line, and eventually that hot shooting broke. That's exactly what happened tonight.
Jacob's favorite phrase, shooting variance.
Happens, man.
It does happen.
Which Silva was here for the statistics, Holmes.
Statistics, Holmes.
If you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, if you don't watch live, you need to.
What a picture.
We got this picture, J-Dub rocking
I'm gonna get that
Justin's
framed.
own design, the post-game interview shirt. We just dropped the link for the shirt in the chat. If you don't have one yet, get your life right.
Get you some.
You can, unreal. Hey, if you go buy a t-shirt right now, you do not have to submit a super chat.
Oh,
wow.
There you go.
What a treat. What a treat.
Oh, we just got a big old super chat.
Look at that.
Big old super chat.
Big old chat.
Big old chat.
It's out of pocket. What are we doing here?
He shared some of his parlay with us.
Ian said he hit my parlay and we got the win. Luck was on our side, and I think he's sharing some of his parlay with us.
I think he just gave us all the money from his parlay.
That's so sweet.
Disagree. My man probably
thank you.
Like a couple hundred.
We appreciate you. Guys, go order the shirt. The shirt is incredible. I can't believe Dub wore it, dude. I was making dinner tonight, had family over to watch the game, was making dinner. Also, shout out Mom, shout out Dad. Love you guys. They came over for the first half of the game, then left for the second half. You guys are never allowed over again. Stay the hell away from my house.
That's
fair. Justin, so one thing Justin mentioned.
Well, first, I was making dinner, and I wasn't looking at my phone. And then I saw that the uncontested chat had blown up, and I looked at it, and I saw the tweet, and I just started screaming like, "Let's go!" Dude, they were like, "What happened? Is like the mac and cheese that good?" And I was like,
"Yes, it
let's
is.
go!" It was awesome.
Neither of you were responding immediately. It was just Silva and I.
I was reading to my kids.
Almost called each of you individually.
And same thing, my phone was blowing up. And so I finished a book and I looked at it and I was like, oh, look. I grabbed my son. I was like, look at this.
Yeah.
What were you reading?
I bet Jack was ecstatic.
We were reading Fancy Nancy and the Quest for the Unicorn.
Heck yeah.
Also, Ian following up to a comment in the chat.
Ian go ahead.
Ian made $115 on his
and he's
parlay.
given us 35 of them.
Shout out Ian.
Gonna say that's awesome. Shout out Ian.
That's
Good
unreal.
stuff. That's fun.
Ooh.
I will say I changed shirts back into my playoff shirt from Tuesday.
Nice.
Day one.
Smart. Thanks for doing your
also,
part.
Justin, I was really concerned. I've told you this before. Every time I've worn our awesome Nick Gallo post-game shirt, Thunder have lost.
Sounds like a
I've
you
worn
problem.
it twice, and they lost in both games.
Yes, see?
Houston, Los Angeles.
What?
So J-Dub wore it, and I was really concerned, Justin. Really
Wow.
concerned.
Wow.
Maybe
I
the curse.
didn't know it had that kind of power.
It does.
It's blood money.
All right, we talked about the jaw injury. We talked about J-Dub wearing the shirt. We talked about how the Thunder just got blitzed in that first half. And then, guys, the second half, I think what happened was the game slowed. Also, another stat I wanted to throw out here real quick, because I think this tells a huge story as well. I had tweeted this out. Game 1, 27 total free throw attempts in the game.
Yeah.
Game
Wild.
2, 30 total free throw attempts in the game. Tonight, game 3, I'm trying to do quick math here.
Quick math.
59 total free
Wow.
throws tonight. 33 from the Thunder,
Jeez, dude.
26 from the Grizzlies. Completely different officiated game.
But Jacob, I'm curious your thoughts. I thought it was called very tightly for both teams. I'm not like using this as an excuse why the Thunder were down by any means. That wasn't the case at all. But it felt to me that the whistle was incredibly tight in that first half. Even some in the third quarter, but that fourth quarter, they were letting them play physical on both ends.
They let it go a little bit in the fourth, which I appreciated. Because the theme across the league this first round has been the physicality of the playoffs.
Yep.
Like they're really letting them play. Also, guys, the live view numbers keep going up. Retweet the stream, send it to your mom, wake her up. It's midnight. It don't matter. The D-gens are out tonight.
It's Thursday night. We can survive.
These are rookie numbers.
technically
Pump
Friday
these numbers
morning.
up. These are rookie
point.
numbers.
As of like literally right now, it's Friday morning. It's a good point. We
Speaking
should probably
of-
dive into some basketball, I guess.
Yeah,
since we do
speaking
have
of that
some-
second half, Justin, can you pull up the Prairie Artisan Ales King of the Prairie?
I sure can.
And then can you tell us about Prairie Artisan Ales?
Well, in addition to hosting fabulous podcast watch parties, Prairie makes a lot of excellent beers. They've got some beers on special, so if you come out to the watch party or just any Thunder game day, you can get Buzzer Beater, Fourth Quarter, and their new German Pilsner for just $3. That's a steal of a deal. A steal that Alex Caruso would be proud of.
They also have Shai's Secret Stuff.
They also have Shai's Secret Stuff now, which I've not yet tried, but it is a blue seltzer that's made with like lemon ice flavor that sounds delightful.
I'll try it for you on Saturday,
Thank you.
Justin, and we'll give you a review live
Yes,
on the podcast.
please.
Also, I will be sure to snag, hopefully, for you one of those awesome new beer glasses
cups?
that they have.
Yes. The
The
glasses look
Prairie
awesome.
Thunder cups that they just put out look incredible. So be
Super
sure to
cool.
come out to Prairie at some point, even if you can't make the live podcast, because they have a lot of cool stuff going on here during the playoffs.
We got some wild comments. Smoot said, Buzzer Beater, hardly know her. And then Murr said, Pilsner, I barely know her. And then two people at the same time said, they need to give Shai his secret stuff back.
Our chat is basically
Great.
our
That's
chat is basically
fantastic.
airplane.
100%.
It's incredible. everyone-
Jacob, we're going to let you just take this one away.
King
Who
of the
is
Prairie?
the King of the Prairie? Prairie Els, player of the game. It's one player. We all agree. It's your time. to shine.
Chet Holmgren, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks.
Apparently, Taylor doesn't agree based on his face.
What?
I agree.
had 2 different people text me saying, you better let Jacob take over King of the Prairie
Hey,
and talk about Caruso.
brother, don't worry.
And I'm there.
We're getting to the GOAT. But Chet Holmgren completely changed this game in the third quarter.
He did.
The
Totally
Thunder
agree.
do not win this game. What did Chet have 16 in the third? Is that right?
Yeah.
I think I have that.
I'm going to be honest.
23 in the second half.
I'm going to be honest. Like, Chet looked horrible in the first half. He was getting bullied. He looked weak.
Correct.
He looked out of character. And he came in that third quarter, was splashing threes, and that got the rest of his game going. I thought he was terrific. No blocks tonight, no assists tonight, but a plus 18 for Chet and a 6-point win in a game that you were at one point down 29.
Yep.
To go plus 18 is incredible. I thought Chet was phenomenal tonight. He's
the reason they won the game in the second half.
absolutely. And Taylor, that is why I'm giving him
Half the reason.
I agree.
the player of the game.
His 3-point shooting was incredible.
5 of 10.
5 of 10 felt like more. If you had asked me what I thought it was, I would have
That was
guessed
all in
higher.
the second half, wasn't
But
it?
yeah, I think the second half he was unconscious, and then just taking advantage of Edey off the dribble. Like, my guy's got cinder blocks for feet, and he made him earn a place on the bench late in that fourth quarter. Took advantage when it was presented to him.
Yeah, he was incredible. 8 of 16 from the floor. It literally was a tale of 2 Chets tonight. I thought it was one of the worst halves we've seen. That first half, I thought we were kind of going back to what we've seen from Chet coming back from injury. Again, he came back from the hip injury. He played some decent stretches. Then he had some minor setbacks. So I'm including all of that. But once he finally
was
came
getting
back full time,
abused too in the first.
Oh
half.
yeah. Not going after offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, and getting bullied down low, missing open layups. And that second half, that's the superstar potential that we see in Chet Holmgren, and that's huge when a player like Shai doesn't have it. But Jacob, I was thinking you were going to it's hard to argue that. I thought you were going to go with Alex Caruso. I had multiple people text me thinking you were going with Alex Caruso.
My GOAT.
So I'll go ahead, I guess, and give my argument. Alex Caruso's fourth quarter, not including his third, which he was incredible defensively as well. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. He was 2 of 2 from the floor, only had a field goal in the fourth. Just insane. Absolute domination.
He's a madman.
Diving on the floor.
He was literally
Ball.
everywhere. Yeah. He was getting
turned
his
the tide
hands
of the
on
game.
everything in the fourth quarter, mucking everything up for the Grizzlies. That play late where he stripped Scottie Pippen Jr., got the ball on the ground, somehow was a jump ball, which was one of the most hilarious jump balls ever with Lou Dort and Zach Edey right after that. But just his willingness to get in there and do the dirty work is so impressive to this team. And he seems to be doing it in clutch situation after clutch situation. And there's been so many games lately in the past couple of weeks that the Thunder don't win without Alex Caruso.
Okay, let me correct myself really quick. I've never seen this app before, so I kind of read it wrong. On the night, Caruso had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. But in the fourth quarter, he had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of those steals all in the fourth. Just absolutely insane. He dominated it, but really the tide changed there in that third quarter. I thought we can almost give King of the Prairie Yell's player of the game tonight, because I think Caruso did it on the defensive side of the ball, which allowed Chet to get those opportunities from 3 and to be able to attack like he did offensively. And those 2 players are what really led that comeback there in the second half.
Totally
Absolutely.
agree.
They closed with Alex tonight. I kind of love the closing lineup. They closed with Alex. It was Shai, Dort, AC, Dub, and Chet. And it's just insane to me. Hey, Alex, we need you to go guard Desmond Bane. Cool. I'll guard the 6'3" guy. Hey, Alex, we need you to go guard Jaren Jackson Jr.
Right.
Okay, I'll go guard the 6'10", 260 guy. Look, guys, I'm just going to say it. If Alex was playing for the Utah Jazz in 96, MJ doesn't get a title.
Unbelievable.
Hey, can I give my hot take of the
Yes.
series so far? Alex Caruso has been the best player from either team.
See, I would disagree.
He hasn't scored, but he's been the most.
He's been most impactful. I've got an Alex thing, and I've got a best player of the series. I don't know if I should say that before the series is over.
I was going to say tap the brakes, buddy.
Yep, but I did want to say
far.
Scottie Pippen Jr. had the best quarter of basketball in his entire life.
Unreal.
And then the Thunder said, we got to take this guy serious. Meet Lou Dort. And that brother, he had an experience. Justin, people are just throwing money at us.
Yes, they are. I was going to say,
like we're
speaking of
strippers.
Scottie Pippen Jr., Andrew has a chat saying, in terms of the jaw injury, blame Pippen. He should have just dunked it. That is true. If Pippen just goes up, then nothing happens. Also, calling you out, Taylor. Thanks for finally following him back on Twitter after months of DMing.
Hey, shout out my guy Andrew M. We've DM'd long enough, and he's like replied to my
Finally
tweets
won you over.
No,
Taylor slid in the DMs.
I thought I was following him for a long time.
Andrew, leak the
So I
DMs, homie. Leak them.
That's right.
We also have one from Caden Parker. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what this means. We're not scared of the gummy beards. So it's supposed to say gummy bears? If so, I'm
know.
not.
Oh,
It's
gummy
supposed-
bears probably
it's
with the
supposed to be-
Grizzlies.
I get
okay.
it now.
And it says scarred, not scared.
I like gummy beards better.
Caden, fix your spelling. Send another $2. We'll
Stop
read it
it.
again.
We also have a big money from Dill Pickles.
Big money.
Thanks, Shay, for missing that fourth quarter layup. Would have ruined my parlay.
Oh my gosh.
Only right if I feed it back to something Thunder related. The
Okay.
actual degenerates are
We
out
have the
tonight.
real. I was going to say we have the real
The
degenerate.
D-gens are out.
We manifested
of
Love you
this.
guys.
One of us.
It's insane.
Taylor, you said that Alex is like the most impactful player in the series so far.
That's how I should have worded it
And
originally.
Yes.
yeah, he's been incredible. I said to a couple of folks at work today, Alex is the difference. And this isn't like AC twin hype. Okay, this is like a legitimate basketball take. I know I don't fire a lot of those off.
A rarity.
But legitimately, like Alex Caruso is the type of player that is the difference between you losing in 6 in the Western Conference Finals and you winning an NBA title. Alex Caruso is to OKC what Derek White last year was to Boston. He's what Bruce Brown was 2 years ago to the Denver Nuggets. He is that guy that just comes in and does everything and just plays at a completely different level. He's freaking awesome. Also, hey, shout out. I asked you guys to run the numbers up. We hit quadruple digits after midnight on the live stream. Thank you
That's
guys.
awesome.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
That's
I'm
a
pretty
lot
sure
of people.
the first time that happened is when Jacob coined the term
The degens.
Degens.
Yep. But Taylor, a guy that we have to talk about, a guy that I think so far is the difference maker of the series. What are you guys
This is
laughing
like
at?
the crazy.
We just got another super chat.
Oh,
Another
heck
$20
yeah.
from a degenerate. I feel pressured to pay up as I also made money. Thanks, Alex Caruso.
You guys are wild.
So we have to get a betting sponsor on the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
110%.
Absolutely.
Also, I need to add you all to Nick and I's high school group text.
No,
with a
please
bunch of
no.
degenerates
Yeah,
of
please. I
bettors.
do not want to be any part of that.
Absolutely not.
Not you two.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Keep me out of it.
Yeah,
Keep
then.
me out of
Those
it,
people.
brother. J-Dub tonight, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block on 9 of 16 from the field. And he only shot 6 of 10 from the free throw line. J-Dub makes his free throws. He's got a 36-5 night on over 50% from the floor.
So many
J-Dub-
missed free throws tonight.
Yes. J-Dub has been the best player in this playoff series.
Agreed.
I do not think you
That's a
can't
good
question it. You can't question it. J-Dub, we talked last year during the playoffs. We talked all this season that if the Thunder want to get where they want to go, J-Dub has to step up and be that guy. He was not able to step up and be that guy in that Dallas series last year. He's that guy.
Yep.
He's that guy.
If not for Shai not playing like himself, there is just like encouraging signs everywhere from the performances we've gotten from Chet and J-Dub.
100%.
That like it's exactly what you wanted to see from this Thunder team heading into the playoffs. If not for Shai not being his normal efficient shooting self.
Justin, it's exact. I brought this up the last podcast as well, but we did that Friday night podcast after the play-in games heading into the series, doing our playoff, our series prediction. And one thing we said, and like you said, we alluded to the playoff series last year against the Mavericks, but when Shai's off the court or when he's struggling, like when the opposing team is sending multiple defenders at him, J-Dub's going to have to step up. Chet's going to have to play better.
Yep.
Weirdly enough, it's been the entirety of the series that Shai hasn't quite been himself from a scoring standpoint. Tonight, I thought he was just kind of awful all around. We'll get into that. Shai's been impactful, though, those first two games, especially without scoring. But regardless, he's not scoring the ball. J-Dub has stepped up tremendously. It's no coincidence that that second unit with him, Caruso, Case and Wallace, they just have been menaces. And really have been like, that's been the best lineup of the series. I mean, we saw that come back again in the third quarter to get down to single digits. And then again in the fourth, Shai was back on the court, but it was those guys who really stepped up and kind of led to this comeback. But that's all led by Dub. And he's doing it in such, I said this on the last podcast, but he's doing it in such a balanced way. It's not the scoring. Like he could be, like Jacob said, 16 shots tonight. He could have 20 something, and maybe he has multiple 30-point games in the series, but 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's doing on the defensive side of the ball with 2 steals and a block. Like he's doing everything. And J-Dub's been incredible.
I love it.
Shout out to Boris in the chat. James Harden used to have gummy beards made by Trolley. That is exactly what was in my head when I read that comment.
I forgot about that. I completely forgot about
the gummy beards.
Point. Like the Shaq XL gummies or whatever he has now.
Yes. Amazing. The play of J-Dub, if it can continue, you have to assume, maybe might be too strong of a word, but like, we're going to get Shai back at some point. He's going to look more like he has for the previous 85 games of the season. He's not going to always be in a slump. This is
he did have 8 assists tonight.
I was going to say, like, it's still hard to even call it a slump, right? When you look at his stats,
31, 4, and 8 is
exactly. 31, 4, and 8 is not a bad stat line.
31, 4, and 8. He played like garbage.
The people who watched,
he was 10 and 26 from the floor, but we'll get into
the
Shai.
people who watched the previous 85 games know that it was not a great Shai game.
Correct.
Overall, that it's got to rebound. It's not gonna be like this for the whole playoffs, right?
So
no.
Let's go ahead and
part of it's the defense as well. Like Shai is driving in and getting just swarmed, and then trying to kick out. I feel like some shots are forced. Some things that we're used to seeing from him, he's just not doing. He took 7 threes again tonight after taking 9 the other night. He's settling for jumpers, specifically like off the dribble threes a lot more. Just looks weird. Connor mentions like bad turnovers. He only had 3 turnovers, but they were very loud ones where he like drove into traffic and just like live ball, like threw it away.
Yep.
Very uncharacteristically like Shai things. The one that really got me, honestly, the one that worries me the absolute most, guys, is the smoked layup at the end of the game that AC had to put back.
Yes.
Shai doesn't do that. That to me, smoking that layup at the end, that's a head thing. That's not they're crowding me and I'm feeling uncomfortable. That's like I'm getting into my brain. And that is the worrisome part for me.
That's what I wanted to bring up and ask you to. and I think you nailed it, Jacob. I think it is more mental. But there is a part of me that just wonders, like, just because Shai's been so dominant. I mean, he will likely be the MVP of this season when it's announced here in a couple of days. Is he battling some sort of injury that we don't know about? Something small, right? Like, I'm not saying he's not available to play, but
Taylor, did you watch the game on TNT or FanDuel?
FanDuel tonight.
So one of the first timeouts in the second half, Shai, the camera was on Shai going to the bench, and he sat down. But he picked up, you know how they have like those big foam, like padded things that go on the top of the seat, which Chet sits on one, and I don't understand why. I think it's because his legs are too long, so he's got to like sit up higher. But Shai picked one up and like hugged it like a pillow and was like doubling over, and I was like, is he hurt? Like that? Just he looked uncomfortable. Like
also
it looked like brother was like just got broken up with and was about to cry.
Something I've noticed. And I haven't wanted to mention because he's still playing, right? But his offhand, his left hand, he's had taped up over the past three games, and I don't know. That's not going to affect his shooting, obviously. Like, that's not a reason for him to be missing shots. But I do wonder maybe if he's battling something. But ultimately, Jacob, I think you nailed it. You talked about that missed layup there in the fourth quarter that AC put back because AC's just been awesome. I think the majority of it is just that he's in his own head right now, and he's going through a slump.
We don't
got a lot of people blaming the gray shoes. Needs to go back
that's
to
the
other
other thing.
Hey, they're named after his son. All right, you can't blame him.
But I mean, can we get the guy more than 2 colorways?
Hey, we're slow rolling it.
I know. Maybe we don't slow roll it, and we get some Thunder colorways, and we blow these teams out of the water and win a stinking championship, Justin.
I don't even know if they're going to make Thunder colorways at this point.
They probably won't.
I think Shai's taking a different route with it.
Yep.
Hey, didn't J-Dub just get Shai's job but with a different company?
Shai's job?
Yeah, isn't Shai like lead designer
or whatever? Yeah.
Or whatever. Content whatever for Converse?
Creative director?
Yeah, didn't J-Dub just get that for Echo?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking
that.
shoe company, and I was like, I don't think so. Yeah,
So that's why he was rocking the Echo gear earlier. That makes sense.
He's got a partnership with the Echo.
H-Dub, shout out to H-Dub. He's always in the Discord. And I'd be mad if my dad named some ugly ass shoes after me.
Hey, I'm going to give you a colorway. It's just gray. It's all gray.
He's taking a neutral route. Neutrals are cool, and there's nobody else doing it.
I'm not buying him yet until he comes out with better colorway.
Well, you can't buy him yet,
design.
so
yeah,
fair point. Fair point.
What else from this game, guys? I got a takeaway.
Yeah.
For the second game in a row now, I'll pull up while I let you guys talk about this. I'll go look at the other games. Minute distribution tonight. 40 minutes for Shai, 37 for Dub, 35 for Lou, 32 for Chet, only 21 for Hartenstein. Next highest minutes total, Cason Wallace 24, AC 23.
14 for Isaiah Joe.
And then everyone else is 7-4-2. So Isaiah Joe kind of the lowest there by a pretty big gap. It looks like they have a top 7 to me.
Agreed. So
they've got a 7. I mean, they played a lot of guys. AJ Mitchell with that was just a spark off the bench type of thing.
Yeah.
But Aaron Wiggins and Jay Will get some first half burn, and then the second half they don't come in that slot. And the top 7 guys of the team are who we thought, but I'm a little surprised that Wiggins isn't getting more of an opportunity, to be honest.
Could not agree more.
They're running essentially a 7.5-man rotation with the starting 5, Queso, AC, and then Wiggs. And then Isaiah Joe.
And it makes sense. I think we just expected to see this later on in further series. And the thing to me is Wiggins has been so great and so impactful for this team throughout the regular season. And then again, we saw it, what was it, game 1. And now Mark's kind of going back to giving him these inconsistent minutes. Wiggins was the leading scorer game 1 with 21 points, but didn't play the entirety of the first quarter. And then tonight only gets 6 minutes. I think Tuesday night, he also didn't play very much. I don't completely understand it. I think there's an argument, like you play your best players, right? Especially in a game like tonight, I could see it, but Wiggins has been so impactful. It's not like he's doing anything wrong. And so I'm a little confused there, I think, with Mark's decision making.
Yeah, it feels like with the 7, it's a preference for defense.
Absolutely.
And I think it could be as simple as that. Alex Caruso and Kaysen give you something on defense that Wiggins doesn't, that Isaiah Joe doesn't, that nobody else on the bench give you. And the fact that you have both of them is what makes it so fun.
Yeah, and you're talking about doing it for defense. I mean, last game Caruso had 13. Tonight he had 10. Like, he's providing offensively for you.
He's doing enough offensively, and you get the defense.
And I understand, like Isaiah Joe, known for being a shooter. We've talked about him, being such a hot or cold player. He like goes on streaks. And I understand he's probably a better positional defender than Aaron Wiggins is at this point. But still, I don't quite understand giving Isaiah Joe more of those. I get where Mark's coming from. I don't know. Wiggins has been so impactful this season. I just think he could have been more impactful in the Isaiah Joe role tonight than Isaiah Joe was overall.
Yeah, that's fair. Joe, not a bad night. 2 of 3 from behind the arc. You'll take that.
I think Joe's been better defensively than Wiggins.
And that's the thing. I think Justin nailed it. You said it comes down to defense, but
yep. Got to eat your broccoli. Pulling out a throwback term.
Oh yeah.
Shout out
another
Trey
chat
Man.
from
looking for the broccoli.
For CRBN27 says, not that it matters, but do you think Grizzlies will just sit Ja for game 4 and wave the white flag? Also not worried about Shai one bit.
I love the confidence in Shai here. I don't know if they're going to sit Ja. I just don't know if Ja's going to be able to play. They said he came out in the second half on crutches.
Yeah.
I think he hurt his hip or his pelvis.
He did not look like he wanted to attempt to shoot those free throws.
Hey, we've been talking about the jaw injury. Can we talk about Scotty Kickin' Jr.?
Scotty Kickin' Jr.
That's courtesy Justin for that nickname. That was incredible.
That was in the Discord. It got a lot of thumbs down emojis in the Discord.
I pulled a Draymond Green.
That
was
Draymond.
Dude, that was like a flying. Jacob, I think you tweeted this, like a Ninja Turtle kick.
Dude, I do that move on the Ninja Turtles in Time game.
Exactly.
Someone in the Discord, I said that's kind of like a stiff arm, and they said it was more like a stiff leg, and I was like, pause. You can't say that in here.
Can't say that.
It was a kick to the Menards, though. Am I right?
Right in the nutsack.
Patreon subscribers.
That's right.
That was wild.
That was wild.
I mean, that was just straight in the nuts.
I feel like there was some weird moments like that tonight. Like there was that play where Aldama just like threw Chet to the ground out of bounds, and there was no whistle.
Mm-hmm. In the first quarter, Jaren Jackson Jr. looked like a fullback going at Chet and throwing his entire arms.
That's what I said earlier. Like Chet got abused in the first half. That's kind of what I meant.
He responded. He responded in the second half, which I'd love to see.
And then you had Edie just choking out Lou Dort on the jump ball for some reason, like completely unnecessary. You're a foot taller than him. Just put your other arm down.
I appreciate there being like no actual scuffles in this series.
Yeah.
When you look at all 8 series across the league right now, the 2 series that should have scuffles have had scuffles.
Yeah.
And that's Rockets, Dubs, and that's Pistons, Knicks. Yeah. The Pistons Knicks series honestly should have like 4 guys ejected for the series.
Did you see the clip?
Yes, I was going to bring it up.
Isaiah Stewart
on the bench.
The broadcast was showing the scuffle at the end of the Pistons game, and they're showing it all. Isaiah Stewart is on the bench, not involved, and all of a sudden, in street clothes, goes from the fight to a close-up shot of Isaiah Stewart on the bench. Just like
they're like, is he gonna do something?
Yeah, what's he gonna do? Get him on screen.
Is he mad he's not out there? Thought that was hilarious.
Corey in the chat brings up a good point. I was saying this tonight. I would like to see Kenrich Williams come in for a little bit and get the Triple J matchup.
Agreed.
Interesting.
I just think that physicality would work. But hey, you got Alex Caruso. I think J-Dub does a great job on Triple J. There were a lot of moments tonight, especially in the second half with Ja out, where they tried to run the offense through Triple J. They spent 10 seconds trying to throw the ball to him on the block. And he's catching 20 feet from the hoop.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, if that's how you want to get your offense, we'll just win the game. Thanks.
That's what happens when you fire your coach in April.
Yeah.
What
a stupid
plays like
decision.
that.
How is that beneficial for the coach right now?
No. And playing Edie when they did in the fourth quarter, like when they put Edie back in and took Triple J out, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They're just,
like,
and they did. They went right at him. They
run,
just got him in the pick and roll, like four plays in a row after that.
Just keep the coach through the playoffs and then fire him in the summer. Like, I don't know what benefit this has for anybody.
Yeah. Same with Denver. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Agreed. And Denver just got their butts beat too.
That they did.
It's kind of looking like Thunder Clippers round 2.
Something crazy that stands out to me from the box score. The Grizzlies had 15 fast break points to the Thunder's 11, which is a complete 180 from the first 2 games of the series. We talked about the Grizzlies playing with way more pace.
Yeah.
But the Thunder came back in that second half because of their defense and locking in defensively and the identity that they hang their hat on. And yet still only had 11 fast break points. That's just kind of crazy to me. Fouls are pretty equal, 24 for the Grizzlies to 23 for the Thunder. Thunder had 11 turnovers, but they forced 16 there, mainly in the second half, which is huge.
Yep. Yeah, the turnovers were big. I saw a stat. I think I mentioned the one about the third quarter, but it was true for the entire second half. The Thunder forced more turnovers than the Grizzlies had made field goals in the entire second half. 31 points in the second half for the Grizzlies after going 40 and 37 in the first 2 quarters.
It's amazing.
Respectively. That's insane.
That's how you win basketball games in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
The Thunder looked like what the Thunder should look like in that second half.
Absolutely.
Now we head to the hopefully.
Dude, I didn't notice this.
clincher.
Wow. Like the playoff games are kind of a blur. You know, it's like, and then we do the post games immediately after. They're just kind of a blur. Do you guys realize how many points Memphis scored in the second half?
Didn't I just
Justin
say
just said it.
Oh, sorry. I was
This
reading.
podcast also a blur.
Yeah, I was reading comments.
Very much so.
We do have a comment on that note. Andrew says, it seemed like the Grizz offense stalled when they got caught trying to get the 6th foul on Shai instead of running offense. That's a good point too.
So
Absolutely.
we've talked about Shai.
Go ahead, Taylor, and then I'll go in after you.
I was just going to say that, you know, we've talked pretty poorly about Shai's performance from tonight, which is fair. But 5 fouls. He's defending down low. Was it Triple J? I think where he got that block there at the end, towards the end of the fourth quarter, which led to transition opportunities. I think Alex Caruso mentioned that. An Alex Caruso layup. I'm going to have to go back, like you said, it's such a blur. See exactly how that series and that play turned out. But Shai going up without fear, 5 fouls, makes one of the biggest defensive plays of the game. That was huge.
Huge.
Sorry, I was trying to do some math. They scored.
Quick maths.
Did you say 31 in the second half? The Thunder scored 36 in the third quarter.
Yep.
Wow.
The third quarter and
That'll
the second quarter were almost inverse. Second quarter, Oklahoma City 22, Memphis 37. Third quarter, Oklahoma City 36, Memphis 18.
Yep. Okay, Taylor, I was reading again, so I wasn't listening to you. No offense. So if you said this and then I repeated, I'm sorry. So many people always talk about, like, whenever someone's in foul trouble, go at him, go at him, go at him. What Memphis did trying to go at Shai, they brought him up to every pick and roll, and they just wasted the shot clock, and then were like scrambling at the end of the possession. That's why you don't do that. That's why smart teams just continue to run their offense and just play aggressive. You know,
Agreed.
Yep.
Completely.
Yeah. Don't overdo it.
Triple J was also in foul trouble, I believe.
Always. Perpetually.
Always. Sorry. Also bad podcasting here. Yeah, he had 5 fouls, and kind of wish Thunder would have gone at him a little more aggressively. And again, just seemed another big thing from tonight. It just kind of seemed like the Thunder were settling for 3-point attempts and the open shots that the Grizzlies were giving them instead of just playing their brand of basketball, which is getting out transition and attacking the rim.
Absolutely.
Thunder got 5 fouls on Jaren Jackson and Zach Edey tonight.
They just don't have the personnel
Yep.
to defend this team.
Nope.
Like we've talked about.
Not at all.
I know we're kind of riffing here at the end. We've kind of been riffing this whole show. Justin, will you remind me, game days at Prairie,
Yes.
what's the beer special again?
$3 will get you a buzzer beater, a fourth quarter, or a German Pils.
$3.
That's crazy. All day,
Great
too.
deal.
Not
All
during
day,
the game.
Not just during the game.
Okay.
Every day on a Thunder game day throughout the playoffs.
So
Here's
your
the thing.
PTO.
Here's
Show up at Prairie.
There you go. I like that idea. Here's the deal. I know I'm grifting, but this one's
Oh,
like
boy.
not joking around.
Here
This
we
one's-
go.
This one's serious. If we get $13 more in super chats tonight, that'll be the most money in super chats on a single show we've ever gotten. If we get that
That's
$13,
good math.
if we get $13 before we end the stream tonight, first 15 people at the watch party on Saturday, your first $3 beer on me.
Hey-o. This is
I
like a
love it.
telethon.
I got you. It is a telephone.
Call the number on the screen now.
first
Use
15,
promo code free beer.
first 15 beers on me.
I love that.
I'm going
I
to make a
love that.
super chat for
Run it up.
$13 just so you have to
$13.
buy everyone beer.
$13.
All right.
Show me the
Well,
money.
time to end the show. Put the pressure on.
Ain't nobody getting free beers. $13. Send it over.
Scottie Pippen Jr. leading the Grizzlies here with 28 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, the best game of Scottie Pippen Jr.'s career. Also, I wanted to shout out Clemente Almanza. He had this Chet quote post game tonight on AC. He said, "If you're going to Lifetime to play pickup, that's the dude you pick first."
Love that.
It's a good quote.
We got our first $2, Jacob.
I said we needed $12 more.
13.
All right, we're down to 11. We're down to 11. Thank you for your service, Connor. Anything else that we need to touch on from this game, guys? We talked about Shai's struggles. We talked about J-Dub's huge game. We talked about Chet being player of the game.
I want to ask the question that I feel like I saw in our text thread, in Discord, on Twitter. Does tonight's game, I know they won, does tonight's game give you any concerns about this Thunder team through the rest of the playoffs? Any red flags?
No.
I'll just say, again, going back to our series preview that we did, series preview podcast, is that I think I picked the Thunder in 5, right? That they were going to lose a game. And we said it would be due to, and not like tonight, role players not being able to hit shots and just the team as a whole going cold. And so the Thunder were able to respond tonight, but like we mentioned, there was no Ja Morant.
Yeah.
When you're playing a team in the second round and in the finals, like the Clippers or potentially the Lakers, I'm not sure you can survive more than one of those games in this series. So that's a little reason for concern. Hopefully the Thunder come out on Saturday during our watch party and they put B2A, belt to ass, right? And, you can have one of those games per series.
Alex Caruso can put his belt to my ass.
Wow.
Gosh.
Anyway,
Your girlfriend is listening to this, Jacob.
switching gears. We did it, Holmes.
Jacob's going to have his girlfriend wearing a headband and
I wish you hadn't said that.
We're about to kick.
I don't know. I don't know how to move on from that.
it's 12:30.
We got $4 from Dorian Hauser and $10 from Dill Pickles. Said, I'm not going to be there, but here you go. You guys helped me through a 12-hour shift at work. Appreciate y'all. Love that.
Yeah, Smoot said
awesome.
we're back to YouTube jail.
we
Absolutely.
as we should.
Hey,
There's some post-game quotes though.
either of you guys want to pitch into this free beer giveaway at Prairie?
Keep the money coming.
Hey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, buddy. You cash this check. You wrote this check. You have to cash it.
No, I am. I'm asking, do you guys want to match me with your gift card?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think the podcast account, I think we can do this.
All right.
Go out to the
First 30 beers.
Yeah.
First 30 beers on Saturday, free. One per
out.
person. I'm not buying a single person 30 beers, you crazy people.
Someone would take you up on that.
Absolutely.
Correct. We'll reach out to our friends over at Prairie. We'll be sure to let them know this is a thing because you guys have supported us so well.
Amazing.
Hey, I did want to mention this quote post game from Chet. Nick Gallo tweeted this out. But we talked about Chet's second half in comparison to his first. And he said, credit to Mark for sticking with me. Change to the trajectory of the game, trusting me and calling a play for me to bomb one out of half. Once I saw one go in, I felt good. As a team, we controlled what we can control, and we're able to pull away. And I think, again, a lot of credit to Mark Daignault. We haven't talked a lot about that tonight because there's so many other big themes, but Mark continues to be just the epitome of a player's coach. My gosh. This chats.
H-Dub said, Alex Caruso can put a belt to my ass. And then Connor B said he would drive 7 hours, 30 beers deep. Connor, if you drive 7 hours to the watch party, all 30 beers are yours, my friend.
Fair. That's fair. I'll allow it.
Anything else, guys? We've been here for an hour.
No, I need to go to bed.
I also need to go to bed.
Time. Agreed.
My boss is going to say, why are you so unproductive on a Friday? And then she's going to look up the pod.
Exactly.
You're like podcast P. Your
Podcast
performance
P.
After a podcast not so great.
Hey, as we get out of here, make sure to join the Discord. We have a blast over there. You'll have a blast over there. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll live. No, it's you'll live, laugh, love. You'll live, you'll laugh, you'll love, you'll loo. Make something to make that shirt. Show up to Prairie Saturday, 2:30 p.m. I'd get there before 2:30 p.m.
Yeah, we might need to bring in some extra tables at this point.
I am not joking. Bring your brooms.
We're doing it.
We're gonna get a whole group photo with the brooms. Unless they lose, then that's gonna be horrible. But bring your brooms anyways. If we win, we get a group photo. If we lose, we're cleaning the place up. Smoot says, join the Discord. You'll live, or you'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll crash out.
That
should be our slogan.
Hey, if you want to be as cool as J-Dub, go buy a post-game interview shirt.
That's right.
If he wears it, you should wear it.
What's stopping you?
I mean, J-Dub's kind of the drip god, so go get you a shirt. We appreciate you guys so much. There's a ton of people in here for it being 12:40 a.m.
A ton of people.
You guys are incredible. If you haven't already, make sure to sub to the YouTube channel. We're live after every playoff game, guys. So Saturday, about 5 p.m.-ish, we're going to be live from Prairie on YouTube and at Prairie. So if you show up, stay around, hang out. We'll have a blast. Bring your riot shields because you don't know what Jaw's going to pull out. I like it.
Shout out Jacob Newton's here. Also, hopefully Lou Dort makes it through the series after entering Ja.
Might get a red dot on his forehead.
Correct. Just like Porzingis. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, come to Prairie. Buy a post-game interview shirt. Join the Discord. Sub to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. It's a blast watching the show live versus listening to it on the pod version. But hey, shout out to all my pod homies that are just listening in the gym from their Spotify or their Apple account. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you Saturday. Until then, and as always, Thunder up.